how far did I get? Oh, I made it all the way down. Alright, so then I just have to go through here, and hopefully that is the next area. It looks like it is. It looks like this should take us... yeah, to the hidden warp.
Dead end?
No, there's an elevator. Looks operational.
Is it operational? Because like the last elevators weren't, and then I had to turn everything on. Listen to that roaring fire. It's a good fire sound effect. Alright, so we are going to the wharf. Oh, there's her personal yacht.
I can't believe there's actually an underground harbor here. There are even boats docked.
I only see Danans. Think they were forced to work here?
Probably. Let's see what they have to share about Almadria.
Oh yeah, look at this. Almadria, that's her name. Right. Already forgot. Hello. Well, this might not be the best place in the world to work, but at least you spend your days never having to worry about starving. You can't head out to fish in the ocean, but if you don't mind river fishing, there's a good spot outside with all the fish you could ever want. Yeah, who cares about fish when there's treasure chests? Heavy tree. Let's go. I think that restores HP to all allies, right? It's really unusual for Lord Almadria to come through here without letting of us know ahead of time. She took off with a sizable posse too. Wonder what that was all about. Your guess is as good as mine. I'm just glad she didn't ask us to come along with her. Oh yeah, you guys don't really want to go with her. She'll turn you in a puddle. This boat's here used for shipping. Always takes off with an empty cargo hold and comes back with a full one. Pretty big, ain't she? But compared to Lord Almadria's personal ship, this thing's a cupcake. A cupcake? I ain't been back to Niez in a long time. If it ain't one Bright Eyes busting my chops on deck, it's another busting my chops on the dock. Speaking of which, did you hear they say that cargo might contain stolen goods? What someone smuggled from outside the realm? Oh yeah, it's the fruit, right? Yeah, I hear you. We've got enough to worry about with how heavy it's going to be to haul it around. It should be the fruit. Mackerel times 3. Okay. Oh, hello.
You didn't happen to see a lord come by, did you?
Sorry, friend, but she just left. Came by with a whole posse of underlings, boarded her ship, and took off at first wind. We damn near got blown away. She was that much in a hurry.
Damn! So we missed her!
You guys trying to go after her? Need a ride?
Are you saying you know how to steer a ship?
Spent most of my life chained to the deck of some ship or other. Yeah, I know my jib from my boom.
We don't know how dangerous it'll be. Better you give us the boat and stay on solid ground.
Whoa there! You been out on the water before? The sea ain't nobody's friend, you know. You need a sea dog like me, or you'll sink her before she makes it out the harbor.
It's true.
We're losing time. Sir, we're in your debt.
Now that's more like it. Name's Mahavar. Just give me a holler when you're all set, and we'll set sail.
We're ready. Just don't sink her, okay? Okay. Just don't sink her. Let's go. Set sail. Think you can fish off the boat? Oh. Off we go.
This is like a dream come true. Never gotten to captain a ship before. Never would have thought I'd get a chance like this. Thank you, y'all.
No
Pleasure's
problem.
all ours. Think we'll catch up to her?
Just don't crash
Of
us.
course we will. They got too much weight on them. Meanwhile, this ship's carrying nothing but us salty scalawags. They got a good head start on us, but we can take them.
Do you know if there are any Danans on that ship?
Couldn't say for sure. On the one hand, seeing as it's supposed to be something of another castle, I'd reckon they probably wouldn't let a bunch of Danans on board.
But they do
On the
need
other
staff.
hand, I'd be real surprised if the Renans were able to pilot that thing all by themselves. In any case, it's gonna be a while before we reach her. Until then, you're all free to do whatever. Just don't fall in the ocean.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. We don't really need to.
I
We
know
don't need to
Mahar
go
said
for
we
a
could take it
swim.
easy, but there's not exactly a lot to do on this boat. I guess I'll check in on everyone and see how they're holding up.
Oh, look at that. It's water. Water everywhere. Is she seasick? Oh no, Kisara.
You don't look so good. Are you all right?
The floor. It keeps moving. How can you stand it? How can you even stand?
I'm not the best person to ask about discomfort. I can't feel pain, remember?
I still can't believe what happened in Niez. Even now. As a lord, my expectations for Almadria were already pretty low. But the way she treated human lives like they're mere playthings.
Yeah. And it wasn't as if the situation in Niaz was improving much to begin with.
You mean Deadheim?
The whole reason I started fighting back was because of my anger at the atrocities of Renan rule. Back then, all I had to worry about was fighting the Renans for the sake of the Danans. But then I met Shion and the people of Menancia, and things became a lot more complicated.
Such as
It's even
like.
messier now that we have to worry about Danans like Deadheim.
It used to be that the Danans were the ones in the right, and the Renans were the ones in the wrong. Though, maybe that was just a biased perspective from being on the side of the oppressed.
Exactly. I'll never tolerate the Renans ruling over us. But nothing ever ends up being as black and white as you'd expect it to be either. That's clear to me now.
That said, even putting aside bad apples like Deadheim for a moment, you may be able to free the Danan people, but that won't undo 300 years of oppression. It'll be hard for them to not give in to their resentment. I think maybe that's why I clung to our dream so hard back in Menancia.
Even if his motivations weren't pure, Dohalim has a good heart. He
Hey,
didn't
Adrian.
sink to the depths Almadria did.
You don't understand. I'm saying that it goes deeper than that. This hierarchy we live in, it's not solely something the Renans invented. I remember a story Rinwell once told me. She said before the Renans invaded, we Danans had our own class system. We are the ones who divided ourselves.
Of course.
I saw it in Deadheim's eyes. He wanted to rule over others.
To hear Bayfont tell it, Deadheim wasn't always that way.
But as time went on, and he and the Darkwings fought the Renans, he eventually changed. I guess what I'm getting at is, if we defeat the Renans but just go back to the way things were before, was there even any point in fighting?
But that world isn't the one you want to create, right?
Maybe not. But to tell you the truth, these days I'm not so sure that dream is even possible.
Oh, we're keeping our
You
shoes
have your
dry,
promise
Adrian.
to Nagal, though. Your home and the people of Menancia are depending on you.
I know. My brother. He truly believed in his dream of coexistence. And I suppose, even now, many people still do. And then, there's you.
Who, me?
You and Shion.
Me?
I'm not sure I follow.
Okay, then let me spell it out for you. How many other Renans and Danans do you know that get on as spectacularly as the two of you?
Spectacularly isn't quite the word I'd
I
use.
don't know that I'd say spectacularly.
Well, I suppose it's really all a matter of how you look at it, isn't it?
I really don't see what you're getting.
I think I'm getting seasick again. Sorry. Can you just give me a wide berth for a few minutes?
Sounds good, Adrian. We'll talk to you later. Have fun.
Hold that pose long enough and someone might just come along and paint you.
Any artist who'd see fit to paint me needs their eyes tested.
What can you tell me about Almeidrea?
Not as much as you'd probably wish. I only ended up crossing paths with her a handful of times, after I was chosen to be a lord on Lenegis.
Ah, right. I almost forgot about Lenegis. How much do you think they know about what's been going on down here?
It's safe to assume they know everything, though I know not why they choose to remain uninvolved. Perhaps they see what's been happening as just part of the ongoing crown contest.
Even what Almeidrea did? Has it really reached the point where her actions are seen as normal?
Not to my knowledge, no. At its core, the crown contest is a competition to see who can amass the most astral energy. And to amass such energy, slaves are needed to collect it from. It's therefore against the Lord's interest to kill them.
So then why would Almeidrea do something like that?
We must remember that time is running out in the crown contest. Perhaps her hand was forced, so to speak.
Are you looking in the mirror
again,
again,
to accrue
Driz?
astral energy faster and in larger quantities than through slave labor. Doing so kills off that labor force, obviously, but it is a means to an end nonetheless. No one could have foreseen that something like the Hollowing would arise back when the contest was first conceived.
Is becoming the Sovereign of Rena really that important to the Lords?
Of course. It's the greatest prize one can attain in their eyes. In that respect, at least, I'm really not that surprised that Almeidrea resorted to what she did, as utterly despicable as it is.
It's reassuring to hear you feel the same way I do.
I worry that the only reason I never did anything similar in Menancia was due to my lack of ambition.
If you didn't want to be reminded of your past, you could have just plugged your ears.
You think too highly of me. I'm afraid I must respectfully disagree. I'm not nearly as virtuous of a person as you might wish to believe.
If that's so, would you have been so shaken up when Kisara lost her brother? Why else would you turn your back on your own kind and choose to fight for Miguel's dream? Aren't we just Danans?
A curious choice of words. Did what you see in Mahag Sar hit you that hard?
What Deadheim did to that city, he didn't liberate anyone. Anyone who refused to follow him was an enemy in his eyes. 300 years of Renan rule taught him nothing.
What I have come to understand is that the conflict extends beyond Danan versus Renan. There is an internal quarrel as well. I mean to bring about a true, lasting coexistence in Menancia. But there are more walls we must topple first.
And you don't think you can pull it off?
Well, you seem to think you can, at least.
Does that make us enemies?
Insofar as an exchange of swordplay, no, it doesn't.
Not good enough for you?
Are you really... Forgive me. I will continue to fight by your side a while longer. That much I have decided.
Well, we shall be graced with your presence. How you doing tonight, Driz? What's up? We found the boat, and we're currently at sea, if you couldn't tell. I know it may not be obvious, but that large amount of water is the sea. Okay, good talk. Yeah,
I took
see?
a look around inside
I thought
the
I
ship
should clarify.
just in case, but I didn't find anything that looked like it might be suspicious.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
You know, it wasn't until I left Calaglia that I finally realized just how big the world is.
When we tore down the wall in Calaglia, and I could finally see the horizon in the far-off distance.
A wee
I
little
had the
pond.
exact same thought.
Yeah, somehow the sea is different though. I'm not sure just how to put it. It's almost as if it just goes on forever. I bet my old man would have been blown away by this view.
Yeah.
Ever since he died, I've been thinking about what it was that he was really trying to say to me at the end. I keep going over his words again and again. And heck, maybe I'm just overthinking it all. But still, sometimes I wonder if it could have turned out differently. If there was something I could have done. But no matter how much I play it back, I'm still no closer to finding any answers. And then there's everything with Rinwell. I stopped her from killing Almadria, but was that really the right thing to do? Or did I just end up making things harder for her? I feel like such a screw-up.
You're not the only one. I keep asking myself what Zephyr would have done had he been here. Like, I think, how would Zephyr have handled Rinwell?
Yeah, I think he definitely would have stopped her. No doubt about it.
And that's exactly what you did, Law. I think he'd be really proud of you.
Alphen.
Zephyr's not the worst yardstick to measure ourselves against. Let's both do our best to make him proud.
Sounds like a deal. Thanks, Alphen.
Anytime, Law. Anytime you need a pep talk, I'm here. I got your back. The music on this boat, though. Do we... I guess we have to talk to Salty Rinwell. I was gonna walk by her. I guess we're talking. She needs a head pat.
Okay?
If you're worried, why don't you ask him yourself?
Yeah. I think maybe I should apologize to him too. I should apologize to all of you, really.
Us too?
Well, I was kinda lying to you all this whole time. I was blind to everything except my own revenge. I never even considered the struggles all of you might be facing.
We all have things we'd prefer to keep to ourselves, Rinwell. So what if you had something to hide? It doesn't undo the good that you've done, or the people that you've helped save along the way.
Or Hootle. Hootle's
But
all
that's
that matters.
not what I mean.
I know. You're talking about Almadria, right?
Yeah. I hate her, Alphen. I can't stop hating her. Even just thinking about her makes my head feel like it's going to explode. But it's not just her. I think about the way Law looked at me. I hated the Lord who killed my parents. And I hated the Renans I had to travel alongside. And yet, Cyslodius Danans backstab each other like it's a normal way of life. And Mahag Sar has people like Deadeye.
Oh, you mean people are people?
But
Doesn't
then
matter
there
what
are
race?
people like Law and Shion. It's all just too much. I don't know what to think anymore.
Law never said that you had to forgive Almadria. It's only natural you would hate your family's murderer. But
But what?
Oh, sorry, logic.
Law left home
Right.
because of how much he hated his father. As a result of that, well, I think Law spent a lot of time thinking about how they never got to make things right. And if I had to guess, killing Ganabel didn't make any of those feelings go away. Law let revenge fuel him, and I think now he's afraid you'll do something you'll regret.
Afraid?
Whatever happens to Almadria when this is all over is up to you. I'll respect whatever choice you make. Just think it over carefully for me, okay? You still have time.
Okay.
We turn her
Thanks,
into a
Alfie.
puddle. That's my choice. We feed her the astral fruit. I mean,
Say, back then, after the fight, I think I really made Shion mad. I don't know though. Maybe it just looked that way.
Shion always looks mad.
But I guess I just can't seem to understand how she feels. Do you know why she gets like that?
No idea.
Shion's...
It's just her resting face.
She can be a tough nut to crack. She doesn't really talk a whole lot about herself.
It's just what she said about hate being a source of strength. Where did that come from?
Where do you think it came from? She obviously knows.
I wonder how it feels. not being able to hold another person's hand.
Like you've been in COVID lockdown for 3 years. I mean... Kappa. Let's see. Shion is up there. Wait, is that everyone in the party? Oh, I guess it is. Hi, Shion. We're just, saying
Lean
hi.
much further, you'll go overboard. Keeping an eye out for Almadria's ship?
I'm looking at the ocean.
The ocean?
Yeah. The waves. They help me think. This world is filled with natural wonders. The icy air and white peaks of Cyslodia. The lush green glades of Menancia. The harsh wastes of Calaglia. But Menancia has its Lake of Death, and Nias its ruins. And they wouldn't be there if it weren't for that contest.
Say we actually managed to put a stop to the crown contest for good. What do you think will happen between the Dahnans and the Renans then?
More war. No, just kidding. It's hard to say.
You first.
Well, I want to believe that the coexistence we saw in Menancia can happen elsewhere too.
But
It's insane for all of us to keep fighting. If Menancia can do it, so can everyone else.
But
Yeah,
people.
I think that would be good too. A world where everyone can get along. At least, that's what I've come to believe.
You sure have changed.
I can't lie to you. Since I was young, I've looked down on the Dahnans too.
You were raised to.
But I've seen a lot. And I see things differently now. I've seen so many ugly and terrible things in this world. And yet, they didn't come from just the Dahnans. And the good things too. They didn't come from just the Renans. Kindness and cruelty exist on both sides. A person's race doesn't factor into it. So, I guess you're right after all, Alphen. I have changed.
Yay. Oh. Shion.
You know, I've never actually touched another person like this.
Shion.
Ever since I was on Lenegis, I've always been alone. Even after I came to Dana. Always.
Not anymore.
And now?
Alphen, you're really gonna make her say it.
Do you still not remember your past?
Nice change of subject, Shion.
No. Sometimes it feels like I can
Skilled.
almost remember. But then this mask stops me.
The mask keeps you from remembering why you have the mask in the first place. It's a little ironic, isn't it?
A little. Well, it won't be long now before you're rid of those thorns, you know? Only 2 lords remain. And once you have their master course, you'll be able to create the Renis Alma, right?
And
Then
become
you
the
can-
Lord of Renan.
Shion?
Sorry, it's nothing. Promise.
Duh. I'm fine, quote unquote.
You're right, though. It'll all be over soon. I never could have made it this far on my own. I have everyone to thank for that. Including... especially you, Alvin.
Don't worry about it. We're friends, after all.
Oh, she just got friend zoned.
Yeah, we are.
He friend zoned so naturally. Oh,
I wonder
Alfred.
how much longer it's going to be.
We're gonna have to
catch
have a
up to
discussion.
Amadria. I'll ask Mahavar.
Oh, poor thing. And she was trying so hard. ... It definitely looks like we're gonna get hit with a storm, though. Like... Okay, I think we're ready to proceed. We've gotten, you know, past the awkward friend zone conversation. So, the ship had a better head start than I first thought. If you want to take a nap before things pop off, now is the time. Okay. It's nap time. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Look who's up! Good timing. We're closing in on her stern as we speak.
That's a
That's the ship?
that thing's
She's
huge.
huge. Law, go gather the others, will you? Think you'll be able to flank them without getting spotted?
Yeah, with the fog as our ally, I think I might just pull it off. Long as we ain't too noisy, we should be okay.
What'll you do if they catch on to us?
Not much I can do. Ship that size, they'll probably blow us to bits before we ready cannons.
Wait, our ship has cannons? Where? At the side? Right there? Yeah, probably right there. We're being ninjas.
Persistent little things.
Yes, we are.
Evidently, I shouldn't have spared the wretched vermin.
I mean, you ran away.
Hungry already, my dear?
No, I don't want to become Zoogle food.
Worry not, for you shall have plenty to feast upon shortly.
Shortly. Mwahaha.
Perfect. You managed to get us right up beside them.
Yeah, they know we're here.
I'll stay with the ship so we can leave as soon as you're done.
Good. Then let's find Almadria.
I mean, we could just take her ship, right? If we kill her, we can take the ship. Why would we give up a perfectly good mobile fortress? And then we can use it to sail to the water place. Though I wonder what powers it.
Shion, I want to thank you.
What brought this on?
What you said helped to calm me.
Don't mention it.
Zoogles, can you stop roaring in my ear, please? Thanks. Much appreciated.
Now that's what I call a ship.
Yeah. The biggest one in all of Mahag Saar. So big that it took years to construct.
For all we know, Kelzelik may well have been smuggling materials to help build it. In which case it would be yet another mistake on my part.
We don't know that she was only getting materials from Menancia.
You think it's possible that they might have come from elsewhere too? Yeah, I guess I could see it.
But what do you think Almadria plans to do from here on out, now that she's abandoned her realm and sailed out to sea?
She'll be filling her coffers with gold, most likely. Then she'll sit back and enjoy the show as the other lords duke it out. Or something to that effect, at least.
I wouldn't put it past her.
She's strong, yet shrewd, and will stoop to any low. A dangerous one indeed.
Indeed.
She's not the first, and she won't be the last. This is a lord we're talking about, remember?
Sounds like you've made up your mind already.
There was never anything to decide. No one who can smile like that while doing what she did deserves to roam free.
Oh, she didn't
Yeah.
just smile.
Yeah, you're right.
She cackled. Yeah, Shion's getting better. Alphen needs to stop friend-zoning his waifu. I agree. Rinwell is finally opening up. Life bottle. Okay.
This might not be the best time, but if you have a minute.
Yeah, it's not the best time.
That mask of yours, it was shattered by a blow from Balsef when you fought back in Calaglia, correct?
Yeah, thanks for the reminder. I thought I was a goner.
Balsef's brute strength was in a league all its own, yet half the mask remains. It's remarkably durable. Too durable to be Dahnan in origin.
True.
Shion said the same thing. As if the fact I was wearing it meant there had to be more to me than met the eye.
You recalled your name when the mask broke, I hear.
Yeah, that's right. Although to tell you the truth, I'm a little scared what might happen when I lose the remaining half. Then again, the idea of not doing something because I'm afraid scares me even more. That's why I go on fighting.
Only he who first faces the night catches a glimpse of the dawn.
Come again?
It's nothing. Forget I
Thanks
said
for your
anything.
poetry, Dohalim. It's beautiful. Can you imitate this cackling? No, I cannot. Definitely not with the way my voice is right now.